Nice.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Welcome to the best soccer show. The best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's JD and the Rod, America's best soccer show on the air on a Wednesday, ready to do this thing. I just scared the crap out of my wife. You should have seen it, Jared. It was a beautiful thing. She jumped 3 feet in the air.
Gotta let her know that she's alive.
I think she's heard it a couple of times, but I gave that one the full go. I don't know. I'm feeling good tonight. Feeling ready for this.
Despite the fact you have me in just one of your ears, you're going to push through, soldier on, you're injured.
Yeah, let me pull back the curtain here. So we get connected for the show tonight, and do people really recognize, I guess most of the original besties know this already, but anybody who's new to the show, maybe you don't know that I'm on the right coast, Jared's out there on the left coast.
Whoa, that's why I'm in your left ear.
That must be what it is. You're representing the left coast.
Oh, I'm not in your left ear. Which is it?
No. Wait, no, you're in my left ear. You're coming from the left. You're
facing north. Okay.
West Coast, Best Coast, East Coast, Beast Coast. That whole thing. That's what we're doing here. It's like it's like a little bit of both sides of the country coming together through the magic of the internet. And so when we got connected, that was the thing. For whatever reason, Jared is only in one side of my headphones. Maybe it's my headphones. Maybe they're broken. Did you break my headphones?
Did you try to see if your headphones are pushed all the way in?
Yeah, they are. They're pushed. I use headphones every single day of my life. So
I'm not saying it couldn't accidentally happen.
No, that's true. You're right. It's certainly true that it could accidentally happen, or I could have some sort of weird connection thing. But I know that Nikki Soup and Sausage, who is lurking around here somewhere, he is always, ducking in behind walls and stuff. I heard him in both ears when we connected earlier tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Dilly. Nick goes both ways.
He's right in the middle of the country. It only makes sense that he would be right in the middle of my channels.
That is not in the middle of the country. I don't know why people say that. Ohio's not in the middle of the country.
It's in the east. You're saying it's East Coast still.
He is East Coast.
Okay. All right. No, you're right.
I'm not East Coast.
It is. Well,
what do you claim?
I'm Midwest.
Yeah.
Oh my God! There's nothing about Ohio that's in the West.
But that's the name. That's the way it was labeled back when
in the Mid-East.
Back when trains were a thing and we didn't have airplanes. So that was the thing. It was Midwest because it was like towards the west, but not all the way to the west, which was basically St. Louis. That was the West, 70 years ago. So things change. Things change, Jared.
So I'm trying to think. Like, I can't find a good position to record in. I think here's the thing. Okay,
Jay Rodius.
I'm at a point where I know I need a new chair, right?
Right, okay.
But, and here's what I want to do, and you're going to give me so much crap for it.
No. What's happening?
I want to get like a gaming chair, because I bet you it's more comfortable than what I have.
Oh, my God. Okay, I don't necessarily look like I don't necessarily hate the idea of a gaming chair. They just look so stupid. They just look ridiculous.
It's like you're sitting in a NASCAR machine in your office. Like they're all bright colored.
Yeah, like it's like I'm the king of the sci-fi future, and I don't know. It's just wild that I look. I understand being comfortable, and when you're gaming for hours and playing. What is the one you like? Dota? Is it called Dota?
I played Dota. Yeah, Dota 2.
Dota. I don't even know what that stands for.
Defense of the Asians is what it stands for. But I bet you've heard of League of Legends, though, right?
I've heard of League of Legends. Yes,
it's the same game. League of Legends stole Dota and made it like this weird thing.
Oh, is this some inside esports conspiracy theory stuff?
Oh yeah, those guys straight up ripped the game off.
So last week,
the worst version of it.
Last week we got the whole disc golf experience. And now this week we're gonna get some esports in the mix. You're watching some Dota. You're getting the gaming chair.
I'm telling you, man, you want to know what's going on in the Ocho? I got the drama for you.
Do you think gaming chairs? I guess not. I mean, it's just again about being comfortable. But do you feel like that's maybe not age appropriate for you at this point?
I worry about that.
Okay.
But I also think it's going to give me cred with my children.
Yeah,
I have one.
Sure, of course you do, Nick Soup and Saj. Of course you
Now,
do.
to be fair, I built mine.
What? Wait, what? You did what now?
You upholstered it?
I have I do what's called sim racing on iRacing. And so I went to the junkyard and I got a seat out of a car and I built a little platform to attach it to so I could sit and race.
This is why you don't have time to watch things like The Goonies. You're misusing your time.
We did learn, and we should talk about this. Now, I know there's a major movie release that just happened that is not, look, and we talked about this before, Jared. I like Star Wars. I don't obsess over Star Wars.
For the record, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, nerd. It's 2 days.
Well, okay. The previews are, at least the reviews are out, right? Because all
you're
the
not
critics.
allowed to talk. You're allowed to talk about it starting today.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Well, listen. Okay, you got a guy that made a gaming chair. You got a guy over here playing disc golf and talking Star Wars. Your nerd level's not on point. I
No,
gotta let you
apparently
know
not.
that.
No, I need to figure out what my nerdiest thing is. I don't even. And again, this is not me trying to avoid the conversation. I definitely do nerdy stuff. I mean, listen, I listen to podcasts pretty much every single moment that I'm not doing something else.
One of your nerdy things is like the sound of the show really bothers you if it's not at a certain level.
Well, wait, being like having a standard and being like asking for the product to be good, that's nerdy? I don't think that's nerdy. I think that's
I'm just saying that you hear things sometimes I don't think the normal human ear hears.
I do radio for a living now. This is what happens. I haven't
heard that in a day.
I probably
Tell me again.
I don't have a drop for myself.
I know. You should go back and drop right now what you just said. I do radio for a living. That should be your drop.
Yeah, that's a good point.
dog.
Inappropriate.
It's not. Do you think you think it sounds like one of those? Do you think it sounds like a brag? Not even a humble brag. You think it sounds like a brag?
No, I just like to make it that way, so it makes me
me look like an ass.
Makes you uncomfortable.
You want to make me look like an ass? All right, so
That's one of my jobs.
yeah. So Rise of Skywalker is coming out in a couple days, but I think we should probably spend some time on Top Gun. And what's it called? What's the actual name of this?
Maverick. Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun : Maverick. Do you think they could have got? They couldn't. I guess they couldn't call it Maverick because that was a movie. What, in the 90s with Mel Gibson?
Mel
right?
Gibson. Yeah,
the whole
poker one.
The whole cowboy, poker
based off
on
the Gambler. Is that the show that used to? Is that what it was called?
I think it was
Or
called
the show called
Maverick.
Maverick.
I think it was called Maverick, and I think the guy who played Mel Gibson's dad in the movie was the original Maverick from the TV show.
He is, and I'm
James
blanking
Garner.
on James Garner. There it is.
Yeah, is he gone? Did we lose James Garner?
Yes.
I believe
Okay.
so.
So R.I.P. James Garner, who was a legit fantastic actor.
Did we lose Mel Gibson?
No, unfortunately, he's
Okay.
still knocking around somewhere. He's probably going to do Lethal Weapon 5 # rigs or something. Like, I don't know. But this new Top Gun, we back when it happened, you and I went over the whole reboot of Ghostbusters. We just talked last week, I think, about the weird spin-off of Ghostbusters that's coming.
Stranger Busters. Yeah.
Stranger Busters. It's a good name for it. What do you think about this? Bringing Maverick back 30 years later. What do you think?
Oh, okay. I don't know that it's going to be good. I got no idea, you know.
But
what I'll
you got
say
juiced,
is-
right? Like you had a
I
moment.
got there was parts of me that moved when I watched that. You know, like I'm talking about my heart, but like
your heart. Yeah, sure.
It tapped the same vein.
Back then, you were all about the beach scene. It wasn't Kelly McGillis that did it for you. Yeah.
Oh man, playing with the boys, man. You gotta spin a volleyball on Val Kilmer's finger. I think about it. You know?
I don't have any. This is so wild that I don't have any Top Gun drops, despite the fact we talked about that movie so much on the old show. And I just realized today I didn't have any Ron Swanson drops, which I have rectified. But go ahead, talk about this.
No, the Maverick, I'm going to give it a shot because I feel like I know it's a cash grab. I know it's that virtual nostalgia thing that's playing it all over Hollywood these days, but I'm down for this one. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just am.
I'm not against it. I've seen the trailers, all the flight scenes.
Because I think the story could make sense. That's why I think.
Sure. I mean, his career stalled. He was Maverick. He had the attitude, but he's obviously a fantastic pilot. So they bring him in to teach the kids. I think my biggest beef with the trailer so far is Miles Teller with a mustache. It disturbs me.
It is weird. It is quite weird. I don't know why it's happening, but it doesn't feel right. What would be the soccer equivalent? Is this like when Paul Scholes unretired to come save Manchester United?
Maybe it's like that. Yeah, I suppose it's like, I mean, you can't have that kind of gap. Like, you can't have
The third time Landon Donovan unretired?
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. Yeah, it is a little bit like Landon Donovan. Pulling himself back out to, I mean,
he is down San Diego near Flytown.
Yeah, there, by the way, there's I would say there's at least a 15% chance that Landon Donovan will unretire to play for San Diego Loyal, don't you?
Well, he's already coaching, vice president, GM.
Yeah.
I think he's running the website. I don't know.
Yeah, he put everything
Selling souvenirs
on his plate. Every single, he's got all of it happening right now. Yeah, for sure. All right, so Val Kilmer's coming back. By the way, was he in the trailer? He wasn't, right?
He was on the trailer, but I just don't know how he's going to talk. The guy has like throat cancer and stuff. I don't know how it's going to happen.
I don't know. Miles
We do
Teller.
have a Top Gun drop.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do.
That's him, Iceman.
I don't think it was on the old show though. I think I added it.
Yeah, we used it for Aaron Johansson.
Oh, that's right. We did. You're right. 100%. We have a Top Gun drop. So there it is. I just found it. There's lots of things happening on this board.
But we did not have a Ron Swanson, and that was criminal. You're correct.
And I there's a lot of things that are good for Ron Swanson, but this is what I happened to come across today.
I want to punch you in the face so bad right now.
I think that's a good one that's maybe the one you want to play for me.
We found the Zardes drop. Did you clip that up?
No, I didn't have. We had some technical issues
All
before
right,
the show.
we'll tease that for a future show then. But we found it's not just the GLC Zardes drop, but it's for players. It's the Bornstein Zardes Venn diagram drop.
It's the Will Trapp drop. It's the it's the Daniel Lovitz drop. Maybe
Timmy Chandler.
It could be the Timmy Chandler drop. It could be. All right. You want to move?
By the way, can you hear that? Is that making a noise when I drink?
Yeah, you're clinking
man.
your ice around. What are you drinking? Let's start with that.
So I ran out of my good scotch I like to drink, so I kind of filled the decanters on my counter with just whatever whiskey I had.
How pretentious. And decanters. Oh my god.
Well, I'm visually display. I bought that, and I don't know if you know, I bought this really nice 50-year-old stereo cabinet with like a record player, like a vintage Vitrola.
Jared's the kind of person who says things like, I really like mid-century modern. Like, God.
I do.
What is that?
I love it so much. And one of the hashtags I follow on Instagram is mid-mod, like mid-century.
You like those, you like those cabinets with like the spindly wooden legs that stick out kind of at an angle.
That's what I bought. I literally bought. It has like it's like Dutch style.
There's lots of Formica and shag rug carpeting.
It's usually teak. Okay, get it right.
Okay, so teak is the upgrade from the Formica. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, so I bought this really beautiful stereo cabinet, and I bought decanters to sit on it because I thought it looked nice, and I needed some alcohol to put in them, and I had a bunch of this stuff that I drank one time called Lexington that a buddy gave me, and
I've tried that.
That's what I'm drinking tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. A little bit harsh.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. So, but you're a rocks guy, right?
I'm rocks. Yeah, I'm rocks. If I'm my go-to like affordable like Scotch or choice, usually I go Johnny Walker Black. It's a blend, but I like Johnny Walker Black and it's smoky.
Okay, I don't do Scotch. I do bourbon. That's my go-to. But I don't.
It's like saying you don't like that twin looks just like her.
No, I mean I think it's more like. It's more like I like the more accessible of the twins. I like the one who doesn't, shop only at Gucci and puts her nose up in the air. It doesn't give the time to anybody. I like
I'm in
the one
Finer Things Club. I
like the one who wears her hair up and sometimes throws on some sweatpants when she goes out and like cares about how she looks, but it doesn't look sloppy, but also isn't like fronting about anything. That's how I view that. What do you think? No,
I'm trying to take a lady on the town.
All right. Speaking of ladies, I don't know. This is the metaphor I was thinking about before we came on.
There's a dude that's looking like he's ready to take some ladies on the town in soccer these days.
You want to talk about Jermaine Jones?
Well, if you want to segue, that's your segue.
That's true to a point, but I wasn't going to go there. I was going to go somewhere else. But we can talk about Jermaine Jones real quick if you want.
My man got a makeover.
Is that what you think? I think that's just who he is. You think that's a makeover? I think he believes
he changed his look is what I mean by that. I don't think like someone had to like fix him or anything.
Well, did you so in the Slack in the Patreon Slack? If you're a member of the Patreon, you can see what we're talking about. I put up a picture from Jermaine Jones's Instagram where he is rocking. What are the colors? It's a brown jacket with a.
You're asking the colorblind guy, dude.
Oh, that's right. With a mocha turtleneck is what it. I mean, I'm telling you.
I would have said mocha. That's a good shout. Okay,
it is mocha, right, Nikki? You going to give me an assist on this? What did you think it was?
Yeah, I'm going with a light brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
My man's got like milk chocolate on like dark chocolate kind of look.
You're not colorblind too, are you, Nick?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, he's genetically correct.
He left
my son.
He left. Oh, really? He left a pause there, and I was like, "Oh, he's going to be." Oh, I'm sorry.
Mic muted.
I was cursed on the show. I hadn't done that in a long time. I think this is you. What did you say, Jared? What was your?
His outfit looks like dark chocolate on milk chocolate.
No. What was your response when I said, "What do we think of this look? What does this look like?"
Oh, well, I don't know if I can say it on our show because we're.
Are we being family friendly?
I don't want to get the tag, but I mean, he looks like a professor that.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back and.
Jay Rodius.
This is why you got to listen to the live show. Let me just tell you that. This is why you got to listen to the live show. I just dropped the S word.
He's that dude that like your girlfriend in college left you for. That's the professor.
Yes, it's definitely the professor who
he's Kevin. What's the guy's name from Fish Called Wanda? Kevin
Klein. Yeah.
Kevin Klein. He's Kevin Klein and Definitely Maybe. That's kind of what it is, but better looking. You know.
Yeah. There's who is it that plays it's High Fidelity. It's what movie?
John Cusack's girlfriend.
Yeah, but she ends up dating. Who's the guy?
I can't remember who the guy is, man. But you're right. It's just like that. It's when your relationship ain't quite right, and she finds that older man that's the professor, and she's the TA. And like, man, they're spending a lot of time together. Jermaine Jones is doing that.
Well, that's the thing, though. He's actually like aging himself with that look because he's not that old. I mean, Jermaine Jones is still a young guy, so he doesn't have to play that card. But what I was going to say is that in that post he put up, it's a shot of him in color dressed with the jacket and the turtleneck, and then it's a shot of him black and white wearing the same thing, the exact same picture in black and white, and then he also threw up the U.S. soccer crest, and he said something like he's ready. The dude is angling.
This guy is pushing harder than Eric Winaldo in his prime for a coaching position.
Do you think it's going to work? Because I feel like it's too thirsty and it's not going to help him. And I want to say, Jermaine, look, I think you can get there one day.
You got to mark it, but here's the I think maybe he's thinking he's going to walk into an A tier job because he's Jermaine Jones. His pedigree is great, you know, but we don't know anything about his coaching pedigree.
Well, he just got
how many coaches can you remember that went right into an A tier position directly from being a player?
No, but he's doing the work. So he just got his license. He just got
but every coach has a license. Come on, but you got to make your bones somewhere.
No, but what I'm saying is that he reached for a license that most guys don't have at his age. He's 38.
Richie Williams is still waiting.
This is true. I don't know what happened with Richie and why he doesn't have that job, but I mean, obviously something did.
But here's the thing. What I'll say about Jermaine Jones's game and the way his personality seems like a good coach to me. A passionate, a respect for the game, kind of level.
Yeah, well, we know he can speak.
So feel respect for the game.
I know he can speak some German. I was gonna say
you got to coordinate.
I would throw that in there for Jermaine Jones and his outfit. He's thirsty, but I think I respect the hustle, and I don't want it to be held against him, sort of how public he was with all the stuff that went down with his wife and the guy from Baywatch and all that nonsense. Like, but I feel like it might, I feel like it might be a thing that kind of dogs him. And I feel bad because we live in this era where everybody overshares, and should he be punished for that, even if I was cringing half the time when he's posting all these updates?
Yeah, listen, though, but at the same time, that dude's life, he got some cool stuff going on. I mean, I'm not worried about Jermaine Jones' personal life. Okay. I am not at all. The guy understands the game. You could tell that as a player. He plays the type of position that, for some reason, I feel that position translates well to the coaching game. You got, I'm sorry, who's the coach of Atletico Madrid? Why am I blanking?
Diego Simeone.
Simeone. You got now I'm thinking the snarling dog. Why am I blanking on every player's name in Europe right now?
Diego Costa?
No, from Inter Milan. Long time ago. Starts with M.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Maldini.
Well, that's not the one, but yeah. I just feel like the defensive midfield role for some reason becomes a good coach. And I don't know why I feel that way. Ben Olsen, towards the second half of his career, played that position. A lot of players I feel that played that position. I think it's because the way they see the game, the way they organize the game is usually a captain style position. Like, don't you see Michael Bradley becoming a coach one day and probably being a decent one?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that there's a difference in how those two guys comport themselves. And this is why I worry.
Gattuso, that's what I'm trying to think of.
Well, I was going to say Gattuso, then you said M, and I was like,
I did.
Not talking
I don't know why I did
Gattuso.
that.
All right, well, then I would give myself a ding for that, even though I didn't say the name. Anyway, I think it's going to be fine for him at some point. I mean, again, the dude has cleaned up in the search for this job. He got the haircut. He's got the I don't know if he's wearing the elbow patches or not, but I kind of feel like he should be throwing those in there. The turtleneck look. I mean, who else has the turtleneck look? I mean, that's Berhalter's look, isn't it? It's certainly Bruce's look. Maybe he's going for the Bruce.
He's wearing it way better than either of those gentlemen.
He's a little slimmer than Bruce. Not necessarily slimmer than Berhalter, but it's a different.
For what you know about Jermaine Jones as a player, does he need to be at an MLS 3.0 kind of team, or does he need to be at an MLS 1.5 team that has to make it work with less, and it's more about heart than money on the field? Is he a tactics, like he's bringing in talent? Do you want him to coaching that team, or do you want him coaching like a New England Revolution, Chicago Fire, that kind of level?
I don't know. And without any resume whatsoever, it's really hard to say. I mean,
that's my point. That's why I say you can't give him a job at an A tier.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, look, he's going to have to
do what Helmets and Olave's doing.
He's going to have a reclamation project first. I mean, I could see. So what there, right now there are no open jobs where you go, that's a Jermaine Jones job. NYCFC, Chicago Fire, and
Bodyguard,
and Inter Miami. But if he's willing to be an assistant and you know, pull a Ryan Giggs for a little while here, maybe one day he gets his shot.
Bring that dude to Miami as an assistant. Come on, man. Yeah. You don't think that's gonna that is fun written all over it.
That would be amazing. You got to do that.
Speaking of Miami, have you seen the rumors about who they're going to be signing?
No. Who? What?
Nikki Subs just sent this out to us a little bit ago, and it's from this morning. David Silva's being bounced around.
That actually is a couple months old. So somebody shared that with me again. Tony Evans had the Independent like in September, and we all kind of like got really excited about it, and then it went quiet. So maybe there's still going to happen. I mean, Evans was very adamant that Silva's like interested and he likes the project, and he's already told people at Manchester City that he's out after the year. So that would be a move for them to have David Silva for sure, and he could do a lot of things in Major League Soccer.
Pick your poison then between two players kind of similar coming into MLS. What do you think about these two? David Silva, or Nani last year? Who's going to have the better upside coming into the MLS?
Man, I'm biased. Well, I'm biased by the fact that Nani's actually done something in MLS, and I don't know what Silva. But I would pick Silva. Absolutely, I would pick Silva if it was
because he's coming directly from Manchester City, so that gives him more cred.
He's a better player. He's a better player than Nani ever was. I mean, I know Nani was good,
but the thing about Nani is that he can make his own shots, make his own lanes, and that's I think important in MLS. You see that with Vela as well. Mm-hmm. I feel like like Silva's going to have players around him to play off of. And I'm not sure he's going to have that level of quality.
I mean, maybe. But don't you think that David Silva can kind of be what Alejandro Pozuelo is for Toronto, but at a higher level?
Definitely. But he needs a poacher striker around him. That's what he needs. He needs a Twellman-esque, like poacher, like kind of guy, a Wondolowski kind of guy, like a guy that's just going to do the hard work.
Well, I have a name.
In spaces.
If you want, I have a name. Chicharito Hernandez. That would be the guy.
You think they can afford both of them?
No. I mean, yes, they could. They could afford both of them.
No, teams get two DPs and you can trade for a third. Is that still the rule?
2 DPs and you basically buy your third, but everybody does. I mean, there's no real like barrier.
And they have no DP currently signed, correct?
No, they do have. Matias Pellegrini, I believe, is a DP on there. He's a young DP, but he's on the roster as a DP. So they have 2 open spots, and they could certainly use that on more veteran players, on some older guys. So, yeah.
That would be interesting, but you know who they really should sign with a DP contract? A coach.
They don't need a DP contract for that. They can spend as much as they want. It's the wonderful thing about Major League Soccer. The only place where you can't, we don't have a restriction is in your coaching hire.
Like training camp opens like in a month and a half?
Yes. Like something like
Actually, less than that.
30 something days until we get
That's
to.
ridiculous. You got to wonder, are they waiting? Is there someone that's under contract for like a couple weeks to first of the year and like they can't sign right now, but they know it's their guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Jorge Mas is saying. He reiterated again recently that they have their guy, that their guy was involved in picking players from the expansion draft, and they'll announce him by January 1st. Now, it is December 18th as we are speaking right now. So January 1st is not far away, and Christmas is coming. Do you want to bury your head coaching hire in the middle of Christmas and New Year's? I don't think so. So I don't know. I mean, it's wild that they don't have this person named, and Jorge Mas acts like, oh, it's no big deal. He's involved. Then why don't you name him? Is he busy? Is he tied up? Is he, I don't know. I mean, if it's Ancelotti and he's...
Is it Beetlejuice? They're just scared to say it?
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense unless it's a matter of a contract expiring, say, December 31st.
But then if it is a contract expiring, isn't it feel weird that he's involved in the say of some stuff? Isn't that probably a violation of whatever contract we're talking about too?
Yeah, like some sort of tapping up issue.
Yeah, is that happen with coaches? Is that tapping up a thing with coaches?
Well,
I know it is with players.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. Legally, you're not supposed to do that when somebody's on
Maybe
the contract.
it's a college coach and they're waiting for the college season to be over.
Maybe. I don't. That would be crazy if Miami hires they can't hire a college coach. You got to be.
Is Jorge Salcedo still in charge of UCLA?
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's no college coach on the right level for that, right?
No. They have to go big. It's Miami. You have to go big.
You got to have a name. I bet you it's someone Beckham's attached to, someone that he knows.
Yeah, no, sure, probably. It's weird. It's probably going to blow us all out of the water. Like somehow they'll make it a massive thing, and it'll be fine on some level. But I don't know. I want to talk about Charlotte. You ready to talk about? I know we covered their potential names on this show already.
The Queen City FC. Yeah, I remember that.
The rumor is they're not going to go with that. That wasn't on the list. The rumor is that they're going to go with Charlotte Town. That was, of course, was not announced yesterday when they had the official big party with Don Garber there, handing the scarf to David Tepper, a guy who's got $12 billion, Jared. And you were talking about the analogies earlier. This feels like your boy meeting somebody and getting married in like 3 months, and everybody's like, whoa, but she's smoking hot, so you don't say anything. Like, you're just like, okay, let's see how this goes. He seems happy, and she's gorgeous. Like, that's because David Tepper's got all this cash. MLS is rushing into it.
You just see the day where Jermaine Jones comes sweeping in.
I don't know. He's got an Instagram shots with guns and stuff.
That's his spot right there, Charlotte, baby.
Maybe they're getting to the point where, I mean, David Tepper's already talking about signing people up, and they launch in 2021. They're jumping ahead of Sacramento.
That's crazy.
Well, it's because they've got a stadium where they want to play their games. They already have that identified. And again, Major League Soccer basically said, our standards out the window. We don't even care because your credit is terrible. Actually, their credit's amazing because it's $12 billion. But you've got a football
it feels
stadium.
like New York City FC all over again.
It does kind of.
Remember how much we rushed that? No stadium, no big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we are. How many years later?
5?
Yeah, it's a while now, right?
David Villa contract since. That's how far out we are.
Yeah, I mean it's wild. By the way, so David Tepper, did you watch any of the announcement?
I have a life.
Okay, you do. Do you want to hear what he did at this announcement? You ready for this?
Yeah, I was sure.
Here we go.
I'm trying to remember that if I had a pen, I would have wrote it down. It was something like. Well, since I came to Charlotte, I found a new place to live.
That doesn't make sense.
It's the greatest, it's going to be the greatest city for MLS to be in.
So, not a lyricist.
So white. It's so white.
I mean,
you're going to take a blues song
and
make it so white.
Danger zone! that?
Like, did William Shatner write that for him?
But it's okay. You say it's a blues song, but it's a blues song most made famous by a white artist. Let's be fair about that. That's Elvis's song. I mean, that's what
but
people.
didn't he cop that? He was.
Oh yeah, of course.
Him,
Elvis
right?
copped everything. Elvis was cultural appropriation out the wazoo. That was his move, 100%.
Elvis is like when Vanilla Ice swept in and took MC Hammer's first #1 rap album, like 1 week before he was about to get it.
Oh, by the way, I listened to a podcast that explains why MC Hammer didn't go to #1. It's kind of a wild thing. They basically made it so he couldn't. It was a whole single deal. It was wild. Anyway, yeah, it was like, yeah, exactly. Yes, 100%. Thank you for that. I don't know what to play to give myself.
We need a nerds drop of just what was the big dude in it? What is his name? Goliath or something? What was his name?
In what? What are you talking about?
In the movie Nerds.
Oh, movie Nerds. Yeah, it was Ogre. His name was
Ogre. Nerds. Talk about a movie you could not make now. Holy.
Yeah.
Where the guy basically drugs the girl at the end. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's
it's so cringy to watch some of this stuff now.
Real problematic stuff in that movie. Don't go. Try to avoid. I don't know. No parent's gonna actively choose to show that to their kids. But anyway, just be careful about it, I guess. So Charlotte and David Tepper, a character to say the least. Ambitious, I guess that's coming. I mean, I expect
here's
him
the
to spend
thing.
money.
You got $12 billion.
Yeah, he does.
And you got to keep up with the neighbors, and that's Atlanta.
Yeah, and
he's got the money to spend.
He threw some shade on Atlanta. He didn't name Atlanta when he said it, but he said something about like that city. Here, actually, I have a clip. Hold on, that's not what I want to play. But give me a second, and I'll find this for you because I want you to hear what he said. Because obviously, there's this question of is Charlotte and Atlanta going to be rivals? And
I really want the shade between Atlanta and Charlotte to be like an old plantation owner's voice. Like I want them to go back and forth, like, "Oh, dear sir, you have insulted my integrity."
Yeah. You want him to be Foghorn Leghorn?
Yes, basically that's what I want. I want Foghorn Leghorn.
Okay, here's him talking about again. It's sort of. It's not direct.
To the west.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Another city down the road to the west. Charlotte is hot. Okay, we're the hot city. Screw that other city.
There it is. Screw that other
Hot
city.
City FC.
He did. Hotlanta. Charlotte is not Hotlanta. I don't know. The guy, again, I think it's going to be interesting because of who he is, at the very least. And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be successful.
I hope we get a war of billionaires. That's what I want more than anything. Like 2 billionaires with nothing to do with their money except to invest in soccer and get petty.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally here for that.
Isn't that the greatest thing? That would be I got Uncle Phil out here like pinching his pennies. He ain't gonna get involved.
Yeah. No. Well, okay, he's not pinching his.
I picture like, did you finish watching Silicon Valley this year?
No.
Oh, we need the guy that's like Russ from the billionaire, the guy Russ from Silicon Valley. He has Russ Fest and stuff like that. Just billionaires that have nothing better to do than squander their money.
Spend their money. But they should be, and they should pay more taxes. But that's a different argument, different conversation for a different day. All right, so Charlotte is in. I guess they're going to go with Charlottetown, although we don't have confirmation on Charlatans. The Charlatans are getting into Major League Soccer. And Don Garber, Jared, said 30. This will likely be our last announcement. How much do you believe him?
Oh, I don't know, man. As soon as we need money, it's going to be like,
I know.
Indianapolis looks nice.
I've seen the tweets. I don't know. Are you?
But 30 seems like a weird number to me. Is it a 3-division league?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's 15-15 is odd because that's an odd number.
15-15 with one of the teams on the East Coast playing in the West. That's what's weird about the way it is right now. It feels like it needs to go to 32 with something else more in the middle to the West.
It's just offending everybody with OCD right now. That's the problem with Major League Soccer is it doesn't divide geographically the way people want, and it's like.
But he's an NFL guy. That's a 3-division, 3-conference like sport.
It's
I can see him going that direction.
2 conferences.
Whatever. Wait, who has a Central? Is that in baseball?
Yeah. Well, and
that's 30 teams.
Yeah, 32 teams in the NFL. Okay. Anyway, there's a South, an East, a West, all in the NFL. So it could go that direction.
What's baseball? Baseball is Central then, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Man, I don't be paying attention to other sports. I got too much time invested in disc golf, spike ball,
Dota.
Come on, man. I got no time for this weird round ball sports y'all play.
Round ball? Football is not a round ball. It's egg. It's hand egg, as some people like to derisively
I hate
call
that
it.
so much. I hate that. That is such a I need attention so bad because I'm a soccer fan thing to say.
Yeah, I think in general, soccer fans should avoid calling it hand egg or throw ball. Stop calling it throw ball.
Yeah, if you want them to stop messing with your name, stop messing with theirs. Just be confident in what the hell you're doing and what you like.
Well, we have the real football, and if they would stop using it incorrectly, we could be called football, and then the English would respect us.
Why would you say we? We're Americans. We didn't invent nothing. Like in terms of soccer, you know.
That was a general discussion.
No. I mean, I'm talking to the general person, not you.
I see. All right.
So how many teams should they have?
I think it
should be 36.
Oh my God!
Why 18 and 18, and then 17 and in conference, and you only play?
No, he wants to divide it in fours as well. I think, right?
Well, that wouldn't add up. 32 divided by 4.
No, you just said
32. I think
I guess you could do it 9.
But, yeah, you do it 9.
You said okay. Sorry, 19.
But
and
why
19?
36 though?
Because then you'd have
36.
2 conferences of 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got a 34-game schedule.
Yes, that's what I figured.
Compared to other leagues, they have literally 18 to 20 teams in almost every league, like in Europe.
Oh yeah,
and we're at 30.
Yeah, we don't care.
I guess it means single tables never coming. That's what it comes down to.
You just said we don't invent anything. We invent a 30-plus team soccer league, Jared. That's what we invent because we're Americans. We do it bigger. You know,
no, we have to get to 36 teams so we don't have to charter flights and start taking buses locally.
I mean, I don't know that's the goal.
You never play a game on the West Coast if you're an East Coast team.
But I do think, look, think about this. This is one thing to think about when you're considering how big the league grows and how to divide it up. Okay, so one of the reasons you do divisions and conferences too, although that's obviously a bigger unit, is to do that. Is to sort of limit how much travel there is, and you can control, and then within that little unit, you play everybody more times, and you create rivalries. And if you go to conferences the way that Nikki Soup and Sausage just suggested, and you have 18 teams in each conference, and therefore you play everybody else twice in your conference, and that's 34 games, which is a nice even balanced schedule and all that. That means you never play anybody else in the other conference. So you're going to tell me that Major League Soccer, hold on,
means something though, a little bit.
No, it does, and I like it. It fits my OCD. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. It's balanced, and then you within the conference, and then you have sort of 2 supporter shields, and they mean something, right? The East and the West supporter shield. But are you going to tell me that Major League Soccer, Donnie Garber up there in Manhattan, is going to be happy if LA Galaxy never play against the Red Bulls again, or NYCFC, or LAFC doesn't travel to play Inter Miami? Are you serious? No. Or Atlanta, for that matter? It's not going to happen.
No, that's tough. But here's what I think the real plan is. Here's what it is. You go to 30 teams, and then you break it in half, and you have an upper division and lower division. You got Pro Rel, and it's all MLS, baby.
Danger zone! It's not even worth talking about. Look, I want it to happen, and I know I have this reputation. I'm public enemy number one.
You have to get a lot of teams to break it in half.
Yeah, I mean, well,
because here's how to entertain this for a moment. It is terrible. It's a terrible thing. Entertain this, okay? Like when I tell my wife I want to do weird stuff. Entertain it. Just hear me out, okay?
She shuts you down every time.
The candle wax is only hot for a second.
She shuts you down, and it's not. Don't act like candle wax is your go-to weird thing. You do. You have
It's what I can allow on the podcast. So entertain me for a second.
Okay.
One of the biggest problems with Pro Rel is that every lower division is owned by a different company, different entity. Correct?
Yeah. Again, the league-focused business entity is the biggest hurdle to Pro Rel in this country. Absolutely.
So doesn't MLS 1, MLS 2 make more sense?
Yeah, of course. If they can convince some owners to accept MLS 2.
So that's why you keep pushing. You keep bringing those franchise fees in. Bring them in. Get up to 40. 2 leagues of 20.
Yeah, no, I'm down for it. I really am. I think it would be fascinating. I think it would be interesting. And if it works between those 2 divisions,
if it was ever going to work, and I don't think it is, I think there's no way you convince owners to take a hit like that. But if you ever were going to do it, you'd have to get up to about 40 teams, 36, something like that.
Yeah.
And cut it in half.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I just don't.
I don't see it either. I don't see it either. But
do you know how much?
I want to entertain it.
Do you know how much David Tepper is going to pay to get into Major League Soccer?
$325 million.
$325 million. Do you know how much of an increase that is over what St. Louis and Sacramento, who just got in? They just got in like 2 months ago. $200 million to $325.
But that's how much is get cut the front of the line. Come on, baby. You know if you got in front of the velvet rope, you got to slip the bouncer some money.
That's the dumb money coming into play. David Tepper's
Unless
like,
you got the hot girl on your arm. You got the hot girl on your arm. Two of them could have more. The ratio's got to be high.
I don't know that Sacramento, St. Louis, or Charlotte right now are walking in with that. So you're right. You got to pay to get to the front of the line. You got to pay that extra fee to get your shot to go hang out with the celebrities. I don't know. They did the celebrity video? Did you see? You didn't see any of this, right? You didn't watch any of this.
There's celebrities in Charlotte. Oh wait, I can name celebrities in Charlotte.
Okay, here we go. Who? I actually don't have a list.
McBride.
I don't think Danny McBride was in there. He should have been, but he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure his production company is out of Charlotte.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think they film his stuff.
I thought it was Charleston.
Murray? It's Charleston. I'm sorry, you're right. It is Charleston.
That's a different Carolina altogether, Jared. How dare you? How dare you?
Charles.
All right. That's South Kakalaki, not North Kakalaki. All right, go ahead. All right. Who else then? Is it just Danny McBride? That's all you got?
No, I was thinking Charleston. I was totally, because I was going to say Bill Murray as well. He's out of there.
Dale Jr.
Lots of NASCAR guys. There were a couple of those. I don't think Dale Jr. was in there, but there were.
Wait, hold on, Nikki. When you made your custom chair, did you put a 3 on the back of it?
Rest in peace, Dale.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Nick, who's your driver? Yeah. Who's your driver? Come on.
I don't really have one. I don't watch it on TV.
Oh, okay. You just play fantasy.
If I rooted for anybody, it was Dale Jr.
You just play fantasy.
I don't play fantasy. Whatever.
Okay, I got a different question. How far do your sunglasses wrap around your head?
Oh, good question.
I don't even own a pair.
No, okay.
You don't own a pair of sunglasses?
Mm-hmm.
Jared, I don't live where it's sunny.
The reflection off the snow will blind you.
Again, it's still cloudy all the time.
NASCAR drivers, there may have been a musician or two in there. So there was a rapper who, there's no chance you know who this is, Jared. DaBaby. Do you know who DaBaby is?
I just saw him on Hot Ones.
Okay. So you watch Hot Ones. That's how you stay.
Sorry, on SNL. I just saw him on SNL.
Okay. So you keep up with pop culture through Hot Ones and SNL.
Oh, how have we not talked about the fact Eddie Murphy's on Saturday Night Live this week?
I know. I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Is there any way it lives up to the hype?
No, I don't think so.
This is like Beckham coming to MLS, right? It was like, there's no way it was going to live up to the hype.
Yeah, well, but Beckham kind of did, though. Don't you think? I mean, I know he was injured and there was...
not to start, Beckham cam, stuff like that. Like, it was, if you judged it by the launch, yeah, not so much, but...
Okay.
I'm really excited. I kind of don't want them to go back and do old characters, but I kind of do. I don't know what I want.
What would you?
I want to see him do a Ben Carson impression.
What would you want? You want him to see him do a Ben? Okay. What would you want from Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live? Like you said, you don't know, but if you the characters that come to mind, the ones that you think about,
Buckwheat. Mr. Rogers, because there's a Mr. Rogers movie out, so it's topical.
Okay, Mr. Rogers, I could see.
Mr. Robinson's neighbor.
Yeah, Mr. Robin. Yeah. Mr. Robinson's name, not Mr. Rogers. Mr. Robinson's
name. Who
is
it?
I don't know. I don't know if you.
James Brown. You don't really do James Brown anymore.
Have you watched Dolomite, by the way? I haven't watched Dolomite.
I have watched Dolomite. I enjoyed it.
Is it good? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good, but it's enjoyable. I liked it. Okay. I think it's a good watch. It's decent.
It's getting some really good reviews. Unlike the Star Wars movie, it's getting good reviews, or it was. So.
I got Survivor finale. I got to stay up so late tonight. I got to watch the Survivor finale after.
No, you don't. You don't have to do that, Jared.
I do. First of all, I do enjoy it. Secondly, I have money on the line.
Do that. You're betting on Survivor?
I'm in a Survivor pool. Like, this could be on the Ocho, right?
Oh man, I watched. Have you heard of Six Underground?
It's not Six. Is it called Six Underground? It's a Ryan Reynolds movie, right?
Yes.
I just came. It was recommended to me by Netflix today.
Because they're pushing it hard because they must have spent a ton of money on that movie because
I'll watch anything with Ryan Reynolds, dude.
How did I spend that much money?
It's Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds. Do you want me to bias you or do you want to go into it fresh?
You can give me your 10-second
you should
review.
watch it. I think you should watch it anyway. I mean, I think you would take something out of it, and I also think that we should talk about it on this show. But it is bonkers. Like it is it is way even beyond what you would expect going into any Michael Bay movie. And then it's Ryan Reynolds, but not Ryan Reynolds. So if Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds at a 10, right? Because that's squeezing every bit of Ryan Reynolds out of him for the role. This is Ryan Reynolds at like a 4.5.
What? He's not even playing like the cocky kind of wise ass?
He is, but it's metered, and he's not. It's more about he's the principled heart of this whole thing. Like he's the
heart,
not the heart. It's not like he's not the emotional center. It's more like he's the guy who sees right and wrong and wants to fix the world. So he's very idealistic. I mean, he's cynical and idealistic, I guess. Cynical in the sense that he thinks everything sucks, but also wants to fix it, but thinks the only way to fix it is to blow a bunch of stuff. I don't know, man. It's not as good as I hope.
Shout out for the Twitch chat. I didn't see this at the time. Robert from LA is saying Miguel Herrera from Miami. That's why they're waiting.
I would love that. And I would absolutely
Doesn't
love
that feel right?
It does. 100% it does. And I just on my radio show, Jared. Sorry.
On my radio. There's a song by the Selector from the late 70s, early 80s called On the Radio.
I thought you were going to sing Mexican on the Mexican radio. Whatever. How does that go?
I'm on the Mexican
radio. I pitched. I'm doing this thing on my show where we're having fun. Build a club. If you had an MLS expansion team, where would you put it? What would you call it? Who would you hire? And I pitched Miguel Herrera.
Sim City for soccer nerds.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, 100%.
You pitched Miguel Herrera. That's a pretty good one, man. I mean, it's first of all, especially if you're in a Latino like eccentric neighbor community, fantastic hire. The ability to reach out. I think he's a huge star in that community. He's bigger than life.
I'm just gonna love the gifts we get out of him. That's
basically Chris Farley on the sideline.
That is brilliant. I didn't even think about that. Is 100% right that he is.
He looks like he's a character that Chris Farley is playing.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. Except he's actually a good soccer coach. He's wild, and you do take a risk with him. You sort of like you jump into a fire and you say, all right, how long until I get burned? That's the deal with Miguel Herrera. And I think it's fine. I mean, I think for Inter Miami to make a splash, it's the kind of thing you got to do.
Here's what you do. You do Chaos FC. You go Miguel Herrera as the coach. You go Jermaine Jones as the assistant. And you bring in Balotelli as your DP. Yes. What can go wrong?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's why.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
100%. That's what you do. That is the only way to live up to the hype in Miami. And I think that Jorge Mas wants to be. Think about that. Okay, so I know this is like beyond us, and it's supposed to be the people's game. And I do want soccer to be more accessible in this country and everything else. And I would love for there to be an open system in ProRel. And Forward Madison could one day become an MLS team, as somebody mentioned in the chat. That would be lovely. But if this is what we got, and this is the way American sports have always worked, franchise model, big money, it's David Tepper with $12 billion. It's Arthur Blank writing blank checks for Atlanta United to go out and sign the best South American talent they could get.
Use that blank checks.
And Jorge Mas down in Miami, knowing that, and he's using that as like. For Jorge Mas, it's more than a soccer team. It's a symbol of freedom, Jared. Do you know about his whole political background? Like, he is hardcore anti-communist Cuba, so he is like, he wants to fly the flag with everything. It's going to be wild. I'm telling you.
Okay, so unfortunately, we do have a person that wanted to call the show tonight and couldn't do it, and we did get a good shout out on Slack about a topic. We only got a few minutes left. I want to make sure we get to this tonight.
Okay, all right.
Our boy Luke, he hit us up on Slack saying, hi guys, can't call in tonight due to having to record his own podcast. This was a perfect opportunity for you to shout out what your podcast was, Luke.
Yeah.
We give it a plug.
No plugs. No plug.
He has a question for the show. So he says, I've been thinking about the whole quote unquote, when did the U.S. men's national team stop being fun question from the bonus show. Get the bonus show by being a Patreon member, $5 or more.
Yep, it's fun.
I narrowed it down to 3 possibilities. Number 1, he put Jurgen Klinsmann. You think that was on purpose? Jurgen Klinsmann cuts Landon Donovan. Two, Wando's miss against Belgium.
That's not the one. Hold on one second. I got this one.
No Wandos, no Wandos, no Wandos. Yeah, I still love that. Number 3 is Jamaica lost to the 2015 Gold Cup semifinal.
Yeah, that was painful.
Curious to hear your thoughts. I personally think that each one has its own far-reaching consequences for men's national team fandom. What do you think?
Okay, so wait, the 3 he picked. All right, so
the one I would pick isn't on there.
Well, no, so obviously the failure to qualify, the loss in Trinidad and Tobago is like that's the seismic event, right? That's like, have you seen San Andreas?
I've not. Thank God.
It's got it's got Giamatti as the scientist, and he's got like this predictive thing that he's using to tell the world that everything's going to go to hell and the fault's going to explode and everybody's going to die. It's like that. It's like that's the one. Like there were some little ones, right? Some little things.
Yeah, it's like saying World War II is because Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated. There was tons of little things leading up to that.
World War One, and
sorry, World War War II. Hitler invading Poland. Excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah. Is that the thing that caused it, or is it all the stuff leading up to that?
Yeah.
And that was just the excuse, or that was just the trigger.
Obviously, Jurgen starting out poorly in the Hex, getting fired, Bruce coming in, and it's not like everybody was like, yes, Bruce is going to save us. This is 100% a home run. Bruce is going to get us playing great soccer. It was like, okay, I hope Bruce can do it. I hope Bruce has got this. Bruce knows CONCACAF. Let's all hold our breath and hope Bruce gets it done. So, yeah, I think even before Cuva, it was a thing. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was Donovan getting left off.
I think it's 1,000 chops at the tree. I really think that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Everything you listed was part of it, and I think Trinidad and Tobago is the one that sticks out because
death by 1,000 cuts. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Whatever. What is that, like Sin Tzu, Art of War kind of stuff? I don't know. Who's that guy?
Not on your bookshelf next to your scotch. It's not there.
No, that one's
not on top of your fine mid-century modern credenza.
I couldn't find it on Audible.
Okay,
but it's all those things, man. It's all those things. I wouldn't put one of those missing against Belgium. That's something that happened. I don't know. The other stuff, Jurgen Klinsmann and Donovan, even that is just something that's the thing. It's more for me, it's the inability to develop the next generation.
Well, yeah, but that's a slow burn. That's a slow burn thing, right? So I understand what he's saying. He's saying pick a moment and tell me where you think that it had which moment had the biggest impact on your enthusiasm for the U.S. men's national team. And
of those 3.
Yeah, well, if you pick those 3, I mean, we're analyzing those 3, but there are obviously other moments. I don't think
of those 3, I would take Jurgen Klinsmann cutting Landon Donovan because that was a fundamental point in the shifting of the guard, and the next guard failed to capture me.
Okay. I think more than that, it was. Man, I don't even know. It felt like the reason that I think he's talking about it is because it felt like, and this kind of was regardless of how you felt about Jurgen, even the people who believed in Jurgen, it felt like something done not for soccer reasons, but for something else, right? It felt like something done because Jurgen didn't like Landon, and Landon had taken his sabbatical, and that pissed Jurgen off. And we had, obviously in that moment, we had Jurgen's kid on social media laughing about Landon not being on the roster. And so
that might be one of my favorite things that ever happened.
You love that moment?
Just so, can't you picture your kid doing something that you were instantly like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that for sure. So,
like your kid gets caught toilet papering your boss's house or something like that. Like, oh God, kid.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, hopefully your kid doesn't know where your boss
church
is.
Or egging your church or something like that.
He's missed the biggest one though.
What do you think?
What's
it is?
That?
Oh, it's when you guys stop podcasting. 100%.
No, I know this came up on the bonus show last week, right? The idea that look, I don't think Jared and I are in a position to say like, of course, that's it. Everybody lost their love of the national team when we stopped our show. I mean, but obviously, like, there's a connection there between, and it's anything, right? It's us, or it's sort of the end of a bunch of different stuff right around that same time frame. The consolidation of soccer media, Jared. Like, I don't want to get too media theory here.
No, I go back to SB Nation still. I think SB Nation was one of the things that killed American soccer because you had all these independent blogs, all these independent voices that got gobbled up by SB Nation and that machine. Listen, I'm not saying SB Nation doesn't do good work. I'm not saying that at all. But it was. Look what they just did with their California writers.
Yeah. Shout out to every SB Nation freelancer.
Mikey Gray,
who got
Alicia
dropped.
Rodriguez. I'm not sure who else.
God damn it. Alicia Rodriguez is
rough right
awesome.
there. If someone doesn't pick her up, they're ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on over at the other LA blog, and I don't know if she would switch allegiances, but somebody should. Actually, they can't do that. It's SB Nation. Sorry.
SB Nation, that's it. Mikey Gray runs the other one.
Yeah.
The Galaxy one.
They let him go too. Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is what happens because we were part of a wave that was only possible at a certain time. You starting a blog, me writing for a few different sites, just guerrilla writing, and starting a show just because there wasn't out there. The problem is it's the same thing that happened. I'm trying to think of another example of this. I mean, I'm sure there's music scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Miramax, for example, is an example of this. Miramax was this indie film known for indie films, and all of a sudden they blow up.
Yeah.
And then you create a monster out of it, and Harvey Weinstein and stuff like that. But these little things can't stay.
It's like the band who gets picked up by the major label and drops their
that
first
thing you
big
do,
album, and you're like, I don't feel it anymore. And look, some of that is sort of some of that is psychosomatic, where you're basically, obviously for the national team it was results driven, but some of it is literally like, I just don't have this extra thing or this other part of it, and now my experience has changed, and no matter what, I'm going to lose some enthusiasm.
But here's the thing, when there's all those different blogs out there, granted, there's no money in it, there's all this different stuff, but fans connect to authenticity. And there's just a lack of authenticity when it comes from a machine, and that's one of the things that I feel what The Athletic is doing is really cool, because they picked all your favorite independent bands and put them under one label.
Yeah.
And as long as it stays and feels like it's independent, I think it'll succeed. But if they lose that, and I'm not sure how they protect it, but you have to protect that somehow.
Well, I do think there's a lifespan on that. I don't want to get into media theory. I think, and I love what they're doing because I love all the people that they've got working for them.
Me too.
But they did a bunch of fundraising. They did a bunch of investment. They got a bunch of investment, and then at some point the rubber meets the road, and you have to make money, and you have to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
And you can't just be spending your Series A funding anymore, right? You have to have something going, and I don't know where that is for them. And they're doing podcasts.
That's also what happened to us, dude. That's what happened to us to a great degree as well, right? Like sooner or later, the Best Soccer Show, the things we had going on, you have to make life decisions based off of money, and it sucks. And it went away. And granted, now we're trying to do it and we're being honest about it. We need a certain amount of money to make this happen. And I don't mind saying that. It's up front. It's realistic. And I think we have the base that can pull it off. And I hope we're giving them a product that they feel is worth their money. But there's models out there that maybe it can succeed at some level, these types of things. But the soccer stopped feeling niche. It stopped feeling like you're watching it in the underground club. And it started to feel like you're watching it for a high cover charge and a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just have to either make your peace with it or walk away. And I know that's hard
and I
for
think
some
people are walking away. That's my point.
Yeah, I guess.
With U.S. Soccer, I feel like the U.S. Soccer fandom, people are walking away because they don't feel that the band that they're watching is worth the $2 cover charge and all this BS that's around it, man. They ain't trying to wait in a velvet rope in the rain to watch what's out there right now. You have to give them something, or you have to court them somehow, and they are not doing a job of courting them.
Well, this is the weird thing about, a national team, and obviously the U.S. women are brilliant, and we want to watch them, and we want to watch them do their thing, and there's still a momentum to that, and that falls under the U.S. Soccer umbrella. And it's not as though U.S. Soccer is the reason why they're as good as they are, but they're not hurting them enough to keep them from being world champions, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, with the men's team, we give them no credit. They have no credit left with us. They've alienated a bunch of people. We're demanding more from them. People are walking away from the team, and it's like, well, you don't really have an alternative, right? So if you decide that you don't like your club team, I'm not saying I agree with the idea, but you can go pick another club team. There are other teams in the world. You can say, well, I don't like this team anymore. I'm going to stop being a Manchester United fan. I'm going to go across town to City. But with this, you kind of have to just either eat it or say, okay, I don't care anymore. And that's the travesty of it. And I don't know if U.S. Soccer is ultimately if they should be the reason that you stick around, because to me, it's kind of like, I'm not going to demand that people support them. Walk away if you want to, but I can't make myself say, oh, Carlos Cordero and Jay Berhalter and Dan Flynn, these are all such terrible people and they're doing terrible things and they're ruining soccer. So I'm not a fan anymore. And I'm going to bash the national team every chance I get. I can't make myself do that.
There's so many tattoo artists out there right now trying to figure out how to cover up a U.S. soccer crest.
What can you do? We got to get some artists out there. And they probably have the old crest. Lots of people with the old crest, not even the new one. Like, that's rough, right?
That's really rough. But you could say, yeah, I was a fan of that team.
I mean, look, you could always
divorce yourself from the present situation.
Yeah, well, again, I think that there's a difference between sort of supporting your country and supporting your federation, and they don't have to they don't have to be conflated, right? They don't have to be. They're
making the club versus country debate very easy for a lot of people right now.
Yeah, and I do think that we were sort of due for a turn in this country to that. Like, we were due for a move to more club over country, just because there's more clubs, and because Major League Soccer is getting bigger, and the Premier League and Liga MX and all these other leagues are sort of, there's such big presences here, especially via satellite TV and everything, and the internet, that you don't have any, you don't have a lack of choices. So you can go and give yourself over 100% to Liverpool if you want to, and not necessarily care about the U.S. men's national team. And it's probably less painful even when Liverpool's not winning things, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a club guy. I can't do it.
If you had to ask me if I had to name all the expansion franchises, I probably would have forgotten Nashville till just now. For some reason, it just popped in my head like, oh crap, that team is happening.
Oh yeah, no, that's happening. They're not really making a bunch of waves, but they're happening. So speaking of country music artists and NASCAR drivers, I think more than a few live in Nashville. So that's a thing. That's a thing.
If I had to listen to Kelly Pickler sell me on season tickets.
I forgot that name until you just mentioned it. It's been.
You know why it's in my head? Because she's on freaking Hallmark movies, so my wife's watching. Like, literally, Jason, if I don't walk in the living room, it never ends.
Don't do that.
It never ends.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice on that in that area. If you can execute this turn, and maybe you've already done this, and maybe she's already on top of these, but Vanessa Hudgens has herself a little Christmas movie empire going on Netflix. You need to just dive into that and just accept it for what it is.
The princess ones?
Yes, the princess ones.
Oh, dude, trust me, I'm aware.
The Night Before Christmas with KNIGHT. I just watched that.
I think that is last year's. I think there's a new one this year.
That's this. I think that's this year's. I think The Night Before Christmas is this year's.
It's all ridiculous, and it literally doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Oh, man,
like, we don't watch commercials in this house. She'll watch commercials for that. She'll watch the live feed. I just don't understand. Like, if you run into I am not fulfilling her somehow.
If you run into any of the Candace Cameron or whatever her name is now, because she married that hockey
Cameron
player.
Burke? Oh, I'm fully aware of her as well.
She's in there too, right? That's her.
Oh, yeah. She's in there. Let's see who else. You know who's in there a lot is the dude from John Tucker Must Die.
Okay, I vaguely know the movie, but I couldn't picture I can't tell you who the actor is.
That dude's all up in there.
I mean, you're accepting.
Oh, Lacey Chavert. She's in a bunch.
Lacey Chavert.
I don't mind that. I find her quite attractive.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but that kind of just tells you where her career went. Like, it just didn't reach the heights.
There's a lot of money in this dude.
Speaking of Lacey Chavert.
Oh, Winnie's in a bunch of them.
Winnie Cooper?
Yes.
Really? I thought she was doing mathematical equations somewhere.
If my wife wants to get me to watch one with her, she knows she needs to find a Winnie Cooper one.
Okay. I was going to say, since you mentioned Lacey Chavert.
Christmas at a dinner table. No, Love at a Christmas Table, I think is the one of hers.
What happened to Jennifer Love Hewitt? Where did she go?
She was hunting ghosts on CBS last time I remember.
Oh, she had but that was like 5 years ago or something, right?
Okay.
I'm just saying, what happened to her? I don't know.
I think she had a show after that where she was like working in a massage parlor that was doing extra things.
It was on the Craft Channel?
That's a
Jay Rodius.
She had a really bad Texas accent.
Okay. All right, I'm in trouble.
She's from Texas. How could she have a bad Texas accent?
This is serious.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
I'm listening.
I'm in trouble. The wife just texted me. Are you talking smack about me watching Hallmark? She heard me through the wall. Dude, this guy's... I might have to sleep on her couch. Dude.
This is a role reversal. It's usually me getting myself into trouble on this show. So I'm glad it's you
She
this
could
time.
have her ear at the door right now.
Okay. All right. I think we got to wrap this up. I think we're due to get out of here. Patreon, for people who aren't on top of that, patreon.com/JD Narod. JD, Jared mentioned the kind of where we are with all of this, and there really is some cool stuff happening over there. We got the Slack. We got the bonus episodes. We're working on some new stuff. We're going to be dropping some sort of gear in the very near future. That is in process. So
yeah, we should have a special guest on soon to talk about that too with us. And we're looking at a few different options. Some that are being included in your Patreon membership. A few things that maybe if you want to listen to something extra, maybe there can be something for you as well.
And if you guys have ideas for stuff you want us to do as part of the Patreon tiers or your Patreon membership, just let us know. Like literally just tell us and we'll start talking about it. We'll figure it out because
do we need a cameo? What
are you talking about? What I missed?
You don't know what cameo is?
Oh, do we need a cameo? Are we there yet? Like
God, I hope not. Oh, we're at that point.
No. I just saw a comedian I like mention. He's like, people are asking me if I'm on Cameo. Look, if you want me to do a greeting for you, just don't be a jerk, and I'll probably do it for you, and I won't charge you $45. Like,
it's gonna be the point where I'm gonna be like, shout out to Eugene on his birthday.
No.
Ding.
No. All right, we got to get out of here because we got the bonus show coming up. So again, if you want access to the bonus show, go over to JD and the Rod on Patreon. Sign up for the $5 tier. You'll be golden. You can get access to the Slack. You can bug us there. Jared will give you his personal home phone number so that you so you can text him at all hours of the evening. Yeah, that's part of the deal, right? That's one of the perks. We're gonna throw that in there.
Oh, Mario714. Sorry, buddy. He says too late to call in. Maybe you can call in the bonus show. Maybe we can get you in on there, man.
Sure, why not? All right, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
The best.
Only the best. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper.
Duh and or hello.
Danger zone.
Three words for you. Treat yourself.
That's him, I smell.
What? We just become best friends? Yep. Who asked those questions?
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes.